Have you ever noticed how the very act of trying to be happy seems to make you anxious? You say to yourself, I must be happy. I should feel fulfilled. I should be at peace. And yet, the harder you try to be so, the further it slips away, like grasping at the surface of a pond. The more tightly you close your fist around the water, the less of it you can hold. Happiness, you see, is not something you can chase. It is not a goal to be achieved, nor a prize waiting at the end of some self-improvement marathon. It is a byproduct, an aroma that arises naturally when life is lived fully, spontaneously, without grasping or resistance. To chase it is to frighten it away, as one might startle a bird by lunging toward it. We live in a world that constantly whispers, be happy, be successful, be someone from every direction. The pressure mounts. You scroll through the endless gallery of smiling faces, all insisting that joy is something they've caught and you have not. And so you begin to feel that there is something wrong with you, that happiness is a secret you have yet to discover, a key you've somehow lost. But perhaps the truth is simpler. Perhaps there is no key. Perhaps the door was never locked. When you chase happiness, you treat life as a bargain. You say, if I do this, if I achieve that, then I'll be happy. But life doesn't work like a business deal. It is not interested in your terms and conditions. Happiness comes not to those who demand it, but to those who forget to ask. Imagine for a moment that you are floating in a river. If you struggle against the current, thrashing and clawing to reach the shore, you exhaust yourself. But if you relax, you find that the river carries you. It may not take you where you think you want to go, but it will always take you where you need to be. Happiness in that sense is not found by swimming harder. It's found by letting go of the notion that you must control the flow. We have made happiness into a kind of spiritual commodity, something to be purchased with meditation courses, morning routines, affirmations, and endless self-help rituals. But this only feeds the same cycle of striving. You may tell yourself that you are working on yourself, but notice the tone of that phrase: working, effort, tension, pursuit. You are trying to become someone else, someone better, someone more worthy of happiness than the person you already are. Yet happiness is not waiting for a better version of you. It is waiting for you to stop pretending to be someone else. The irony is that you are already what you are trying to become. You are already whole, already alive, already the process by which the universe expresses itself in human form. You don't have to earn the right to feel joy. You simply have to stop denying what is already happening. The breath, the heartbeat, the simple act of being aware, this is life's quiet miracle, whispering softly beneath the noise of all your ambitions. You see, happiness does not come from controlling life, but from participating in it, from dancing with it. When you dance, you don't aim to arrive at a particular spot on the floor. You dance for the sheer joy of movement. The music plays and you move because it feels alive to do so. The moment you start thinking about how well you're dancing, the rhythm is lost. So too with life. The instant you ask, am I happy yet? You step outside the dance and begin to analyze it. Happiness, like music, cannot be dissected without destroying its beauty. You cannot measure the melody, you can only listen. When I speak of letting go, I do not mean becoming indifferent or lazy. I mean recognizing that life's most profound experiences emerge when you stop trying to manipulate them. Love, for instance, is not found by searching for the perfect person, nor by forcing yourself to feel affection. It happens unexpectedly when you are open, receptive, unguarded. So too with happiness, it is a guest that visits when the house is not locked with expectations. Ask yourself what happens when you stop trying to be happy. At first, there may be fear. The mind panics at the thought of surrender. It says, if I stop chasing, I'll never get anywhere. But when you stop chasing, something remarkable occurs. The mind begins to quiet. You start noticing things you were too busy to see. The way light falls across the wall, the taste of morning air, the pulse of silence between sounds. And there in that quiet noticing is happiness. Not the ecstatic kind that burns and fades, but the gentle, steady warmth of being present. Most of us have been taught that happiness is a peak, a mountaintop reached after much climbing. But have you ever noticed that even those who reach the summit soon begin planning the next? There is no final mountain, only an endless chain. The joy is not in arriving, but in walking, in feeling your feet against the ground, in breathing the thin air of existence. You don't need to manufacture happiness. You need to allow it. Happiness is not an achievement. It is a revelation. It appears the moment you realize that there is nowhere to go, nothing to prove, and nothing missing. The clouds drift, the stars burn, the tide rises and falls, and in all of it, you are included. Stop for a moment, right now. Listen. Notice how life is already happening even without your effort. The heart beats on its own. The lungs breathe without command. The planet spins without your supervision. You are not the manager of the universe. You are the music it plays. The more you try to conduct the symphony, the less you hear it. The moment you stop, there it is, the song that was always playing. Happiness, you see, is not an emotion to possess. It is the natural resonance of a life in tune with itself. So stop running after it. Sit down and let it find you. The strange thing about life is that it never truly begins when you think it should. It doesn't start after the promotion, or when you fall in love, or when you finally buy that quiet little house by the sea. Life begins now, is in the very moment you stop demanding that it should be something else. We keep postponing happiness for a future that never arrives. When I finish this, when I fix that, when I become someone better. And so we spend our days chasing a mirage, an image of ourselves we can never quite reach. But the horizon doesn't move because you walk toward it. It moves because you believe it's out there. You see, happiness doesn't live in the future. It's hidden in the simple, fleeting texture of the present. Now, the sound of rain on the roof, the warmth of a cup in your hand, the quiet hum of existence when you forget to think about yourself. But to notice it, you must stop insisting that life owes you more than what is. The human mind is an extraordinary instrument. It can imagine universes, compose symphonies, build cities, and question the stars. But it also has a peculiar flaw. It cannot stand still. It keeps inventing problems to solve, even when none exist. And so, when you are not unhappy, it says, but are you truly happy? As though happiness were a test you might fail. The irony is that this very question is what keeps you from feeling happy in the first place. Happiness is not a state to be reached. It's the absence of the need to reach one. It's the quiet that settles when you stop struggling to feel otherwise. Think of it like the surface of a lake. When the wind dies down, the water becomes still, and suddenly it mirrors the sky. You don't make it still by commanding it. You wait, you allow, you trust, and when it settles, the reflection appears naturally. The stillness of that lake, that's happiness. It's not forced. It's the natural condition of being when the mind stops stirring the water. But the world teaches you the opposite, doesn't it? That happiness must be earned, that you must improve, advance, optimize, transcend, that if you work hard enough, meditate long enough, or manifest with sufficient vigor, life will finally reward you with peace. Yet peace is not a reward. It is what remains when the struggle ends. You can't buy it, you can't manufacture it, and you can't trade effort for it, because it is already here, in the breath, in the pulse, in the unnoticed miracle of being alive. We keep thinking of life as a journey with a destination called happiness. But tell me, what happens when you arrive? The journey stops. The moment you reach your so-called destination, the adventure ends. And with it, the very movement that made you feel alive. Perhaps this is why happiness runs from those who chase it. Because chasing implies lack, and lack implies longing, and longing implies separation. But there is no separation. You are not apart from happiness, just as the wave is not apart from the sea. It is only the illusion of distance that keeps you running. And so, life becomes a strange paradox. The very striving to be happy is the mechanism of unhappiness. The more you demand that life satisfy your expectations, the more you are bound to be disappointed. For life has no obligation to behave according to your ideas of it. The sun doesn't rise to please you. It rises because that is its nature. The rain doesn't fall to ruin your plans. It falls because that is what it does. And the same is true for your own emotions. They arise, shift, and dissolve, not to punish or reward, but simply because they are part of the grand movement of existence. To be happy, then, is not to feel good all the time. It is to understand that feeling is the very fabric of life. Joy, sorrow, boredom, delight, confusion, all woven together. You cannot pick and choose your sensations without mutilating the tapestry. What if happiness isn't the avoidance of pain, but the acceptance of everything? When you realize that, something changes. You stop trying to fix yourself. You stop trying to control the uncontrollable. You begin to sense that life is not something happening to you. It is something happening as you. Look around. The universe is not made up of separate things, but of patterns in motion, waves, clouds, trees, people, each one expressing the same mysterious process in a different form. You are that process. The cosmos is breathing through you. You are the sound it makes when it sings of being human. So what is there to chase? If you try to catch the wind, you'll find yourself exhausted. But open your sails, and the same wind will carry you effortlessly. The art of living, then, is not about harnessing happiness. It is about aligning with the flow, trusting the rhythm, dancing to its music without insisting on the tune. Some people think that to let go means to lose control. But have you noticed that life goes on perfectly well without your constant supervision? You breathe, your heart beats, your cells divide, all without your management. The universe is not asking for your approval. It knows what it's doing. When you let go, you don't fall into chaos. You fall into harmony. You begin to notice the exquisite balance of existence, how darkness defines light, how silence gives meaning to sound, how loss makes love more vivid. You start to see that happiness isn't something added to life, but something revealed when you stop resisting what is. Letting go doesn't mean apathy, it means intimacy. It means being so fully in touch with the present moment that there's no gap between you and it, no barrier of expectation or fear. You breathe, and the world breathes with you. You look, and the world looks back. And then, almost miraculously, you begin to laugh. Not because everything is perfect, but because you finally understand that it doesn't need to be. Life, with all its absurdities, contradictions, and imperfections, is already complete. It's a cosmic joke, and you are both the teller and the punchline. So when you stop chasing happiness, you don't lose it. You discover it everywhere, in laughter and in tears, in the quiet mornings and the restless nights, in the joy of beginnings and the bittersweet ache of endings. Happiness is not a destination. It is the space in which all destinations appear and dissolve. It is not something to be found. It is what remains when you stop searching.